right, workplace 20 guys. So Gerald, you're on fire with this too. It's actually some of the same stuff, yes? Okay, you have that. Gotcha. That's okay. So, slope rate of change. This is actually, I don't know if you were half paying attention to what the other folks were doing, but this is along the same lines, but we got a bit more time for this. Couple things. We have to have skills with something called ratios and proportions. You know what? Yes? Kleenex? Yes, I do. I did. I will. Here we go. I got a couple right here. There we are. Anyways, a ratio, just so we know, when I say ratios, I'm talking about just a 15 to 1 with the dots, or else I could do it as a fraction. I like doing them as fractions more often. What I mean when I say proportion is you have one fraction equal to the other fraction. And that's what we're going to solve a lot of, actually almost 80% of the course. As long as you know how to solve that, you can do this course quite well. So, scales with equivalent fractions, which should be a good warm-up. All four of you, right, are on track with me on this one. There. Gerald's with me. Okay, I'm just always reviewing, okay, Kelly and yeah, you're suffering, aren't you? You can take, here you got more clinics? Okay. We will rewrite all ratios like this as fractions. So what would I say if I say 5 to 2, like that kind of ratio? I want you to write it down as this. So that's why I'm getting you to write it down right now. If you see 5 dot dot 2, 5 colon 2, just say it's the same as a fraction. 5 out of 2, kind of the same. That's the way I'm going to represent my ratios. Then, some of you know this already. To solve any ratio problem, I should have said proportional problem, proportion. Cross multiply, divide by the loner. What do I mean by cross multiply, divide by the loner? I'll show you, and if you, so this is new for you, you know what I'm talking about when I say that. You guys do at the back. Gerald, have you ever, you know what I'm talking about when I say cross multiply, divide by the loner? Pay close attention, because the other folks do, they've taken classes with me before. If I got this proportion set up, I shouldn't have said to solve a ratio problem. It should be proportion. But anyways, I look where the x is. This is what I want to solve for, right? So, you look for the diagonal with two numbers. 2 and 12 is on its diagonal. So when I say cross multiply, that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to multiply up this 12. So 2 times the 12 up there. And then divide by the loner. The 3 is all by itself underneath here. That's my loner. So I'm thinking, and I typed this in the calculator, 2 times 12 divide by 3 is equal to my x. But does that make sense when I say just cross multiply divide by the loner? Because I have it. You see that poster way over there by the antlers? And then it says at the top, cross multiply divide by the loner. So if you ever forget, how do I do this, Delta? Cross multiply divide by the loner, I'll say. And you'll say, oh yeah. Cross the diagonal, divide by the lone thing. 2 times 12 is 24, divide by 3. You can use a calculator. So 24 divided by 3 is 8. But your final statement will be x equals 8. Gerald, does that make some sense to you? Yeah. It does? Okay, I'm giving you guys a second, seconds, to do B and C. You don't even have to show your work. Just tell me what x equals here, x equals here. This won't take you long because we have, it's a calculator exercise. If you come and you don't have a calculator, I've got calculators. You. assignment. Yeah. Flip to the assignment. That's what I'm saying. First and the second page of the assignment. That website. Okay. So, do we have answers for me? Yep. 16 it is. 8 times 2. Divide by 1. Tatiana, did you have a chance to try that one? Do you see where she gets 16 from, though? She went the cross part, 8 times 2, and then divide by the loner, divide by the 1. So 8 times 2 is 16, divide by 1. Okay. I'm going to give a second here, and then I'm going to ask someone for an answer here for X. I know you've got it. Gerald, do you have an answer for me? 35. Oh, 35. Kid's on fire. Hopefully, you try that out on your calculator and make sure you get the 35. Indeed. Don't lie to me. Hi, come on in, Mr. Missons. Okay. 35 it is. Tell you what. You've got, this is where we're working on the second page already of this ride. I always saw problems in using this kind of stuff. Well, the old juice master. A juice mix. 150 mL of water is mixed with 250 of juice. What's the ratio of concentrate to water? Not even. I'm door slammed, eh? Something like that. Something fell. Yes. How do we set this up? There's nothing to even solve. Sure. I'm going to put water W over the 250 there, like you were saying. I'm going to put concentrate. I want you to use a letter or two to usually describe so you know what the heck's going on. Don't get too carried away over there. Okay? So that's just the ratio. That's all there is to this. There's no problem to solve. Just setting up a ratio. Now, to mix, I'm going to go on to 2. Hey, get this pencil transaction over with. Thank you. To mix a certain shade of green paint. The painter mixes 2.3 liters of blue with 1.7 of yellow. What's the ratio of blue to yellow paint? Use a fraction. Okay, just set it up, one over the other. I don't need you to come up with any decimals. It's just put one thing over the other and use the B for blue and the Y for yellow. This doesn't take more than 10 seconds. Should have it down. Okay, I'm going to set this up now. 2.3 of blue. I don't have a yellow color. I was going to 1.7 of yellow. That's set up as a fraction. That's all we need if I'm just asked for the ratio. Now, on this page, and I know, Riley, you were a little late coming in here. It is awful hot. Faith, would you be a sweetheart and open up one of the windows back there? Or maybe the one, if you don't want to write on your head or whatever, maybe the other one. It's up to you. Because it's hotter than an armpit in here. Oh. I'm going to say something bad. I won't. Okay. Math 20 people. Can I move it along? Okay, we're good with this? Are you? You ask questions too, right? You're not too shy? Okay, good. Working with slope. Oh, goodness. Ms. LaFontaine, too, the assignment, don't try to do the next example. Flip a few pages where it says assignment. Try that page. Is that what you were doing? Yeah, okay. Just making sure. So slope. I've already talked about it with the other guys. There's a crossover lesson today. But with you guys. What we're going to say is pitch, slant, steepness. They're all talking about the slope of something. It's a ratio that compares your vertical to your horizontal distance. And we put the vertical distance over the horizontal like that. But in better words, I circled that because that's the way I think of it best, and I think you do too. The rise, the up and down over the run, the left, right. Okay? Now, all you need to do for this ratio is calculate the slope. And we use the letter M. That's the other thing that doesn't make sense. Why not S? Well, we do. We use M. What is the slope here? The rise over the run. Well, we literally just take the rise of 12, put that on the top. Why on the top? Because the formula said rise, and on the bottom we say run. So the run, 8 centimeters, goes on the bottom. And that's that. Now you can reduce the fraction. Are you familiar with reducing fractions? Because I know a lot of these other kids with their familiarity. You are too? So, top and bottom, what's the biggest number that could fit into both? What's the biggest number you guys could pull out? Oh, 4. Yeah, you got it. So 12 divided by 4. And then 2. We could do that as a fraction. If you need a decimal, because you're asked for a decimal, you just type that in your calculator. Go 3 divided by 2, and you get 1.5 out of that. But that's, yeah, that's what we're talking about there. Now, I'm going to turn you guys loose on a few things here. I better do this. Yeah, I better do these ones first. Okay, let's go through these examples. The slope of a line is 7 out of 20. What is the rise if the run is 100 meters? Now, the formula is, and you'll always have the formula, it's actually written up on the top of that poster right by Tony there. Big TI, T-bomber. So, M is equal to, and M means slope, rise over run. Now, I like doing the words first, and then I say, well, the slope, the M is 7 out of 20. Now, I want you to pay attention here. I'm going to replace the 7 out of 20 on the slope side, because that's what it is. It's 7 out of 20. That's what my slope is. Rise over run on the other side. Well, we want to know what the rise is. So rise is like my unknown. I'll use the letter X because we usually use X. But the run is 100 meters. So what I wrote down there, does that make sense? Use your calculator and solve this if you can't do it in your head. Typically, you use your calculator for most of these. So I'm going to put down an answer that you should be getting in a second here, but it's a little loud. Yeah. Pardon? 35? Yeah. Yeah, it is. I just thought I'd make you say yes. 700 divided by 2. Actually, it isn't 35. Just tell you what. Nope. What'd you get, Kelly? 350. Thank you, Kelly. Teacher's pet. Okay. Yeah, you didn't multiply by 100. You must have used 10. I'm just guessing there. Probably what you did. Now, try this next one. The same idea, though. You know, it's this slope is rise over run. And you replace the slope with the number they gave you, 3 out of 190. And the rise is given 400. Try it again. Okay, I'm going to backtrack. What is 7 times 100? What's 700 then? Divide by 2. I'm just kidding. It is, yeah, okay, there you are. Sorry, you got the right answer. Okay, coming back to this. 400 times 190, cross multiply, then divide by the 3, the loner. And you'll get the horizontal distance, the run, of this. Oh my goodness. Thank you, dearie. What I had written down, thanks. She had it right all along. You know what? But Callie, you had it right for what I wrote down. So, but she's more right than us. Thanks, I wrote it down wrong. 100% for that girl. Jana, you are an all-star. And this one is teacher to be. You still want to be a teacher? Okay. She's always polite and respectful in all of her dealings. That's good. Good sign. So, use your calculator for this one. And Shindelka, I'm just double checking. He wrote it down correctly this time. And you get a big old number. Pretty darn big. And then I'm going to you got an answer? This key's on? Big number? What's your big number? What's that? Okay. Oh yeah, you got the right answer. 25,303. Write that down. Trust yourself. You're a smart kid. This Q's on. 25,333 meters. Okay, how do I know meters? Because that was given in the problem here. The hill's rise is 400 meters, so this would be in meters. I'm going to do one more for you and turn you loose and some stuff. So once again, slope, rise, overrun. Brooke, don't get discouraged. Not every day will be this busy with everybody else, okay? I will be able to sit with you sometimes. So slope, rise, overrun. The slope, though, this time is given as a decimal. Decimal 1, or decimal 9.5. The rise, it rises 210 centimeters. What's the run? So what's the x? Now, do you know how to solve this one? It's not quite the same. If you don't know how to solve this right out the bat, what's the one number you can divide anything by and it doesn't make a difference? Divide by 1. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this out of 1. 0.95 out of 1 is still decimal 95, but this makes it easier to solve the equation, doesn't it? Now we can cross multiply, divide by the loner, and you should get x equals 221. And I'm going to put the centimeters down beside it because centimeters were in the starting information. Now, what are you guys going to do? I'm going to wait though. Is there any questions about this page? Your assignment. This stuff is like what you did on page 2. The following ones are like what you did on page 3, so you can refer back to stuff. And then from there, try some of these harder ones, because I want all of you to go for more than 60%, but they get tougher after that, right? But go for it. You guys got some work to do, and you'll work into the next period with this too. Tatiana, Riley already started a file folder, right? Or did you? Or no? You didn't? Okay. And Gerald, I generally have everybody keep their materials in this classroom. I'll need to dig up a file folder for you guys, but you know what I'm talking about. Just so you have dual attendance, whatever. Anyways. We'll use folders. If you like duotangzo, if it's more fun for you, go ahead. I'm going to just pause my recording.